Good morning, everybody. Today I take your literature class. In the previous day, I completed question answer, word meanings, etc. on chapter 9. So, chapter 9 is fully completed. Revision work. Now I revise chapter 10, and today I also explain the story. The Boy Who Loved Music, part 1. In the chapter 9, last the Dr. Handel set off to the Duke's castle, and his son George Frederick Handel followed him on the rough way. Now, what happens after that? This part explained. So, in those days, the roads were bad and travelling was slow, so George did not have much difficulty in keeping up with the coach as it rolled on its way. That is, at that time, the roads were not very well. The roads were very, very rough, and George felt no difficulty in keeping up with the coach as it rolled on its way. A few miles from the town, one of the passengers noticed the little boy running along some distance behind. That is, one of the passengers of the coach noticed that one little boy followed this coach. And then he was very exclaimed to see this. And he asked, "Why, Dr. Handel, is that not your little son George? I believe he is trying to catch up with us." That is, he told Dr. Handel that you notice that he is your son. I mean that he is your son, and he followed him with the coach. At once the driver was ordered to stop the coach, and a little while George came panting up. That is, at that moment, the coach stopped his car stopped his coach, and in order to Dr. Handel, and then he saw that George appeared there panting up. Dr. Handel was seeing this, he was very much angry, and he was a furious rage. "How dare you follow the coach, young boy?" he cried. "You will return to town at once on your own legs as you have come. As you come, you go to your house. Just now," he ordered his son, and he was very angry to see him panting up. "Please, father, take me with you," gasped George. And George requested, in spite of that, George requested his father, "Please take me away. Please take me with you." "Certainly not," was the angry reply. His father replied angrily, "No, not at all. I will not take you there." "But, good doctor, you cannot send the boy back now," said the other passenger. "He is tired out and would without a doubt fall by the wayside. Then perhaps robbers would get him." And then the other passenger requested Dr. Handel to take him away. Don't go, request him to go back to the house, because either he fell on the way, or he was attacked by robbers also. "Indeed, the punishment is what the young rascal deserves," declared Dr. Handel angrily, "but perhaps he had better come with me." Then he turned to the boy and said sternly, "You may come into the coach, and I shall take you with me, though I not know what I shall do with you at the Duke's castle. But remember one word about music, and back you shall go by the next coach." Then he was very dissatisfied, but in spite of that, with the request of the other passenger, he told his son to come with him, but he gave him one condition, that if he uttered a word about music in the Duke's castle, in the next coach, he must go back to the house. So George climbed into the coach, and away they went. It was a happy boy who drove into the courtyard of the Duke's castle that evening. And then accordingly they reached the Duke's castle, and he was very happy to spend his days in the Duke's castle. During his stay at the castle, George was left to amuse himself while Dr. Handel went about his business. Nothing delighted the boy more than to wander into the castle chapel, where he would hear the organ playing and the choir boys practicing the rhymes. He was visiting everything in the Duke's castle, but one thing attracted him most, that is music, where the choir boys were practicing their hymn, their religious songs in the Duke's castle. One day the master of the choir boy spoke to the little stranger. "Why do you come here so often?" he asked kindly. He go there every day. So the master of the choir boys asked him why he had come there so often. It is because I like to hear you playing the organ and to listen to the boys practicing their hands, replied George. George told the master that he liked to hear his music and the choir boys' song. So he came there every day. And could you play the organ? Asked the master. The master asked him if he could play the organ or not. I should like to try, sir, if you please, was the reply. He replied him that he should try his best to play the organ if he ordered him. Come, let me hear you then, said the master, and he gave George his seat to the organ. That is, he told the boy to take your seat beside the organ. So George sat down. He had practiced hard on his spinet at home, and once or twice the organ master in the church near his home had allowed him to play the church organ. Of course, this great organ in the Duke's Chapel felt strange to him, but he managed to play quite a difficult tune. He had practiced near his home in the chapel, in the church, and the master of the church, organ master in the church, allowed him to practice the organ there. So he had known some things about the music, but he felt difficult, strange to it. Is very big organ in the Duke's Castle, but he tried his best and managed to play quite a difficult tune. Very good indeed, my boy, said the master when George had finished. When George finished his musical tune, the doctor praised him by saying, very good, very good. Tell me, how would you like to play before the Duke? Then he asked him if he agree, he would like to play the music before the Duke. Before the Duke, oh sir, exclaimed George, I should try my best to please him. In the name of the Duke, he was very much afraid. Little boy, he afraid in the before the Duke he would play. So told him that he should try his best before the Duke. Then you shall play after the service of Sunday, answered the master. The master told him that after the religious work of Sunday, he would play the music in front of the Duke. Okay, and the master was very pleased to see the organ playing of Dr. Handel's son, Frederick Handel. And in this way, he managed to take a place in the Duke's Castle. This is the story, and I explained the next part 2 of The Boy Who Loved Music. And next day, this is the story. You also learn each and every line at your home, and next day I would give you and repeat the question answers and word meanings and other word practices also. Okay, and you also learn all these things of this chapter. Okay, thank you. Next day I start chapter 11, part 3, The Boy Who Loved Music. Sorry. Next day I give you some question answers and word meanings and other word practices. And after that day I would repeat chapter 11. And these are your revision work also, and you should learn it wholeheartedly at home. Each and every line you learn, and you prepare yourself for the exam also. Today I finish this, and thank you very much.